The chip-on-wafer-on-substrate ecosystem, better known as CoWoS, has quietly become the most critical bottleneck in the global AI semiconductor supply chain. What was once a niche advanced packaging technology has evolved into the gatekeeper of modern artificial intelligence. In 2025, the global advanced packaging market, where CoWoS serves as the flagship solution for AI accelerators, was valued between roughly $40 and $56 billion. Over the next decade, that figure is expected to more than double, reaching between $89 and $133 billion by the early to mid-2030s. Yet within this broader growth story, CoWoS stands apart. It commands the highest margins, supports the most powerful AI chips, and remains the most constrained segment of the entire semiconductor industry. This scarcity has triggered an unprecedented expansion effort. TSMC, which controls roughly 80 to 85% of global CoWoS production, nearly doubled its output in just 1 year. Monthly capacity rose from approximately 35 to 40,000 wafers in 2024 to around 75,000 wafers by the end of 2025. Projections suggest further increases toward 95 to 130,000 wafers per month by the end of 2026, with some forecasts pushing even higher in 2027. On paper, this looks like a massive scale-up. In reality, it barely dents the problem. Demand continues to grow faster than capacity can be added. Global CoWoS demand is estimated to rise from about 370,000 wafers in 2024 to roughly 670,000 in 2025, and then approach 1 million wafers in 2026. That represents nearly an eightfold increase in just 2 years. Even as factories expand and equipment moves in, demand immediately absorbs every additional unit of supply. The bottleneck is not shrinking. It is hardening into a structural constraint that may persist well beyond 2026. Most of this expansion is concentrated in Taiwan. TSMC's Tainan AP8 facility began equipment installation in late 2025 and is expected to add up to 50,000 wafers per month. Additional capacity is coming from Chiayi, where new advanced packaging lines will enter mass production in 2026. These facilities are not limited to CoWoS alone. They also support related technologies such as system-on-integrated chips, photonic packaging, and fan-out panel-level packaging, reflecting TSMC's strategy to diversify while maintaining control over the most advanced solutions. Despite these expansions, access to CoWoS capacity remains tightly controlled. NVIDIA dominates the ecosystem, consuming between 55 and 63% of TSMC's total CoWoS output. Broadcom follows at a distant second, serving hyperscalers like Google, Meta, and OpenAI with custom ASICs. AMD takes a smaller but still significant share for its MI series accelerators, while the remaining capacity is split among companies like Amazon, Marvell, and MediaTek. By 2026, more than 85% of all available CoWoS capacity is already locked up by top-tier customers, leaving less than 15% for everyone else. This has transformed supply scarcity into a powerful barrier to entry, effectively determining who can compete at the highest levels of AI hardware. CoWoS itself is not a single technology, but a family of variants. The most advanced version uses a full silicon interposer to achieve extremely dense connections between compute dies and high-bandwidth memory. This approach delivers unmatched performance, but comes at high cost. Newer variants reduce interposer size or replace parts of it with redistribution layers to improve efficiency. One of these, CoWoS-L, has become central to NVIDIA's latest GPU generations, enabling massive memory bandwidth while managing power density. Over time, this variant has taken up nearly half of all CoWoS capacity, with NVIDIA securing most of it. Cost-optimized versions exist as well, but they cannot meet the extreme demands of leading-edge AI accelerators. Looking ahead, TSMC is preparing a more radical shift. The next platform, known as Chip-on-Panel-on-Substrate, or CoPoS, abandons circular silicon interposers in favor of large rectangular glass or sapphire panels. These panels offer dramatically more usable area, enabling much larger packages and lowering cost per die. They also improve thermal performance, one of the biggest challenges facing ultra-dense AI chips. Pilot production is expected to begin around 2026, with optimization in 2027 and mass production targeted for 2028 or 2029. NVIDIA is widely expected to be the first major customer, continuing its dominant role in the packaging ecosystem. Yet CoWoS is only one layer of a much deeper constraint. High bandwidth memory has become an equally severe bottleneck. Memory suppliers have already sold out their HBM3 and HBM3E production through 2026, with lead times stretching up to a year and prices rising sharply. Each AI accelerator now requires multiple HBM stacks, and newer designs multiply that requirement even further. Advanced logic nodes present another choke point. Demand for 3-nanometer and 2-nanometer wafers far exceeds supply, meaning that even if packaging capacity were available, there often aren't enough compute dies to fill it. Substrates and silicon interposers add yet another layer of scarcity, with long lead times and fragile yields limiting throughput. As pressure mounts, alternatives are gaining attention. Intel's EMIB technology replaces large interposers with small embedded bridges, reducing cost and complexity while maintaining high performance. Intel has demonstrated that some designs originally planned for CoWoS can be migrated to its packaging stack with minimal changes. At the same time, major outsourced packaging firms are scaling up CoWoS-like capacity, though they remain behind TSMC in precision and yield. These alternatives cannot fully replace CoWoS, but they provide limited relief and reduced dependence on a single supplier. The strategic consequences are profound. Hyperscalers unable to secure enough NVIDIA GPUs have accelerated the development of their own AI chips, but those designs face the same CoWoS and HBM constraints. As a result, access increasingly depends on financial power rather than technical merit. Large players prepay billions to secure future capacity, while smaller companies are effectively excluded from direct participation. This scarcity has also reinforced pricing power across the industry. GPU vendors maintain extraordinary margins because supply never catches up with demand, and upstream suppliers extract higher prices for critical components. All of this is compounded by geopolitical risk. Roughly 80% of global CoWoS capacity is located in Taiwan. Any disruption, even a limited blockade, would immediately cripple the world's AI infrastructure. Efforts to diversify production through facilities in the United States, Japan, and Europe are underway. But advanced packaging outside Taiwan faces higher costs, weaker ecosystems, and long learning curves. Meaningful relief from geographic concentration is still several years away. Taken together, the evidence points to a clear conclusion. The CoWoS ecosystem is not merely a manufacturing challenge. It is a structural constraint shaping the entire AI economy. Capacity additions are real, but demand grows even faster. Market power is concentrated, access is rationed, and future technologies promise relief while risking new bottlenecks of their own. Until next-generation platforms mature and global capacity meaningfully exceeds demand, CoWoS will remain the silent force determining who can build, scale, and control artificial intelligence in the years ahead.